So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shvat. I'm a deep learning researcher at NEC, and I'm also about to finish my master's at Ben-Gurion University, where I did my thesis on predicting diabetic retinopathy, which is a disease that can cause blindness. Over the past 2 years, I've been doing research in the field of machine learning in healthcare, specifically predicting various diseases using both retinal images and medical records. I'm excited to share today the research I've been working on, which is brain stroke prediction using retinal images. But enough about me and my work. First, I would like to tell you a story about my friend Tom. So yesterday, Tom woke up in the morning, got dressed, went to work as usual, had his first coffee with his colleagues, and then he went on a Zoom meeting, as we all do these days. Suddenly, he started to feel numbness on the left side of his face. He became confused and dizzy, and when then his colleague asked him a question, Tom had trouble speaking. In fact, he couldn't even understand Dan's question. What Tom has just experienced was a stroke, something that happens to 12 million people each year worldwide. So now, Tom must get treatment as soon as possible. When it comes to stroke treatment, every single second counts. There is a time window of only 4.5 hours where treatment will be effective. And the sooner the treatment begins, the better Tom's chances are of recovery. Okay, so earlier treatment can save Tom's life, prevent him from being disabled, and would increase the chance that Tom goes back to his normal life. Quick treatment is crucial, but it is only one piece of the puzzle. Awareness of risk factors and stroke symptoms are also key to minimizing the damage of stroke events on our lives. So how can we predict stroke? Nowadays, there are various ways to check if a patient had a stroke after the incident, as in Tom's case. But predicting a stroke before it happens remains a challenge. There is a need for a cheap and accurate tool that can assess stroke risk in a fast and non-invasive way. So people could be prepared for such events and handle them in the best way possible, minimizing the damage of stroke events on our lives. To address these problems, I would like to propose a stroke prediction solution using retinal image analysis. As you can see in the image, the retina is an extension of the central nervous system. Because of the similarity between vessels in the brain and in the retina, simple eye screening can provide retina images that are able to depict damage to the vessels in the brain. In addition, recent studies have demonstrated that retinal characteristics can contain important information for stroke risk assessment. Because of this, an automated tool based on retina images can provide a fast, simple, non-invasive, and economical tool for stroke risk estimation. So before we dive into our solution, I would like to explain what is the retina image in a bit more detail. Retina images help doctors to find certain diseases and to check the health of our eyes in a non-invasive, fast way. On the left, you can see the camera that is used to take these pictures during a routine diabetic screening procedure. And on the right, you can see the actual retina image and a diagram of the eye anatomy that shows exactly where the retina is located. Here, we can also see the optic disc, a spot on the retina that holds the optic nerve, which, as we saw in the previous diagram, sends information to the brain. You can also see here blood vessels. So now that we have the background knowledge, let's look at the first approach we tried, and automatic feature learning using deep learning convolution networks. This approach was a very straightforward solution and the most sensible one, which is training an efficient model on the task of stroke prediction classification. Unfortunately, this approach performance was not good enough. There are two main reasons why this approach was not successful. The first reason is that the retina anatomy is possibly too complex for a deep learning model to reach convergence. And the second one was that our initial dataset was relatively small. Because of this, our challenge was to find a solution that can be effective even on small datasets. So after consulting with several retinal specialists, we concluded that we need to create a system that emulates the actions of a doctor. When a retina specialist wants to decide if a patient is at risk for a certain eye disease, she inspects the retina and searches for related features defined as biomarkers. This is exactly what we did. We created a system that extracts and calculates medically known biomarkers from the retina that are connected to stroke. So retinal biomarkers are specific features or changes in the retina that can be measured and analyzed in order to provide information about the patient's health status or specific disease. I would like to show you how two of these biomarkers actually look like. So the first one is called retinal hemorrhage, or in other words, retinal bleeding. And it happens when tiny blood vessels in the eye are damaged because of an injury or a disease. The second one is an exudate. Exudate is a fatty liquid that leaks out of the blood vessels in the eye. It is made of solids, proteins, and cells. Okay, so in order to calculate biomarkers, we generate vessel segmentation maps from the vessels in the retina. The quality of the segmentation maps affects the quality of the biomarkers, which are important to stroke prediction. We use units to generate vessel segmentation maps, and we use GANs to generate artery vein segmentation maps. As you can see, the veins are painted in color and the arteries are in red. The reason we use GANs instead of arteries for the second task is that unfortunately units cannot separate arteries and veins well enough. Okay, so in order to get the most accurate AV segmentation mask, we use a model that consists of two parts: an adversarial segmentation network and a fusion network. The first component consists of three pairs of GANs, generator and discriminator couple, that generate three different maps: one of the arteries, one of the veins, and one of both. All three generators send the same discriminator. The inputs or the generated maps are actually used as an input to the fusion network that merges them all and outputs the final AV segmentation mask. The purpose of the fusion network is to reduce the vessel misclassification error, which happens when the same vessel gets identified as both artery and a vein. So, through our research, we discovered that the best solution to this problem is the combination of the two approaches. Our solution consists of two logical parts. The first part is feature extraction. We extract retinal biomarkers using the system we developed that is based on deep learning models such as GANs and units, and in addition, we extract feature maps using classification models. The second part includes creating a tabular database, which includes all of the extracted features and an additional medical data, such as age, gender, and other patients' measurements. We then trained a CADBus classifier to get a stroke prediction assessment. To sum up, we know that retinal characteristics can be great predictors of the incidence of stroke. We have access to a simple and affordable screening that could be made available to the entire population, and our specific technique has the potential for predicting many diseases, which could help people like Tom, you, and me. With the power of fast and accessible tests, we can transform the lives of stroke victims and potentially save millions around the globe. Thank you for listening, and I hope our technology will be instrumental in your health journey someday.